Are we on YouTube's?
Or
Yes.
something.
Yay.
We're on both.
Oh, unmute again.
Unmute.
Oh, unmute.
So I didn't say anything.
God damn it.
This is the volume.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to whatever this is on Monday. In about 10 minutes, it'll be members only, and it'll be members only from there on in for YouTube, unless you're a channel member, and then you're a super cool dude, and then or gal for that matter. And you can stay with us on YouTube if you're a channel member. There's a join button, so if you want to stay on YouTube's, become a channel member and press join and pick your tier. Evening, Tigers.
So weird. These portals are cool though, but it's weird that how it controls it with Windows. I have two different volume sliders actually for these headphones.
Weird.
Yeah, I have headphones portal stereo and headphones portal hands-free AG audio. I don't know what AG means. But we'll see how long they stay on, because that was yesterday's problem when they turned off on me mid-podcast. And I think that the software update we've done after the stream would definitely have prevented it, or so are my hopes. So if you see me scrambling and shit and can't hear me, that means my headphones turned off and I'm digging for the USB cable.
That's okay. We'll manage somehow, as long as you don't become fucking static like yesterday.
Oh, probably. I'll probably have to cut the video too, because I just realized that my USB splitter is unplugged. I'm going red and raw into the computer with the camera today. You know,
super raw.
Fucking play till 2 a.m. again. Fuck, I need to stop it. These headphones are terrible for it.
You're having too much fun?
Fuck, you just get carried away, dude. Like, it's so good. The sound is so good. You look like, one more time, one more try.
Yeah, I had to say.
Fuck, it's 2:30 in the morning.
I was using these as well last night. And the little kick out in the ear cup makes all the difference.
It does, because you wear both. I only have these headphones now, I guess, or these are my only headphones instead of the, like, I guess if I don't count the goofy Form 2s. And I list those out on eBay and get rid of that shit.
I'm good, Tigers. How are you, Willie?
Fucking not much changed since yesterday.
I wonder if Tigers is gonna eat something with HP sauce again.
Yeah, I don't even know what I did yesterday, quite honestly. Not much. I went over to my buddy's house and had a cigar. Basically, the routine. I had a cigar that a girl recommended, and I stupid bought it because she was cute. That's fucking ended. The cigar was terrible. You know.
Well, was it like sweet or something?
It was fucking terrible altogether. Like bland, no, like, I don't know if Brian's watching, but I'm sure he probably has stepped on one of those before in his life. Matilda cigars. I forget what the fuck they were called. Just garbage. Wasn't good at all. Not enjoyed. Time and company and bourbon was better than the smoke. But, you know, you can't win it all in some days. I never heard of HP sauce till I moved to Canada, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a British thing mostly.
Yeah.
Weirdly,
HP.
Yeah, weirdly, it's a very British sauce, but it's made here.
In Netherlands?
Yes. But nobody buys it here.
That's weird. Like, I'm not into, like, not even the hot sauces. I can't do anything hot.
No, it's... How would you describe HB sauce? It's more acidic than anything else. It's
like sourish, I guess.
Yeah, so it's almost akin to barbecue sauce without the smoke, smoky flavor, and much more acidic.
Without the barbecue, fuck.
Well, it's similar ingredients, right? Because the barbecue sauce is like tomatoes, onions, garlic, that sort of stuff, and then you smoke it all. But I don't think this is smoked. I think this just has a lot of vinegar in it.
Gross. Yeah,
it actually really goes well, but it's most people eat their brown sauce with breakfast with like full English.
That sounds awful.
No, it's great.
Brown sauce, bro?
Yeah, that's the generic name for it.
All right.
Because
that's
it's British and it's brown, so therefore we call it brown sauce.
That's a terrible name for it. This can deviate so many different ways here.
Yeah.
Brown sauce in it. No. Pulled pork is good. They open that bourbon place where I left $1,000 at night. They had some really good pulled pork. I've been back there a couple times. But now, like, with the bullshit that you have to, it's a purpose. I don't feel like supporting businesses anymore to go around showing shit. So
yeah, they could just say no.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, and I don't want to do the takeout because by the time whoever Nigerian brings it to you in this shitty car in a fucking styrofoam box, it's all soggy and gross by then.
Well, that's the thing you guys have to deal with a lot more because everything's fucking far away.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, here if you take takeout, like, I mean, it'll take a bit for it to get to here, but most of that is the actual cooking time. Not.
Yeah, here cooking time splits even more or less with the driving and delivery time.
I mean, there's a very good Mexican place like that way. But somehow they always manage to get to our food to us lukewarm because they never can find the front door.
Go wait for them downstairs, man.
Yeah, but
I would meet halfway.
These dickholes have this sort of navigation system for the bikes and scooters, right? And they plonk in the address, and it comes out in a weird alley that is closed off since the last update of the navigation. So they just go, I don't know where it is. So they end up on the fucking train station, which is on the other side of the building. But you can't drive there with either bike or scooter, so they walk there. And by the time they think, ooh, this is weird, I don't know where any of this is, before they call, it's like, tepid, sort of.
That sucks.
Yeah. So we've now taken to actually do takeout and pick it up ourselves, because that's just quicker.
Yeah, but they let you still inside the restaurant and shit.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't.
As long as you don't sit down, it's fine somehow.
Yeah, it stays out at the door only now.
Yeah, or like it's up here, right? Like
it's the sanitary zone. That's the sanitary zone. Fuck.
It's fucking bizarre.
If people just paused and thought a little. It would have been a much better world.
Yeah, it's
but
I don't know, it's weird. I don't know what to make of it all, but then again, from next week, or is it next week? No, this week. In 3 days, my girlfriend's mum will be here, so we'll mostly be doing a lot of stuff and eating in anyway.
Did she cook?
Yeah, but I like to cook anyway. Plus, she's taking off some time from work. My girlfriend is, so. And then you have evening Brendan, evening Hypercenti. I think I showed this before. And Dutch people will know what they are. They're called oliebollen. And her mum loves these. Like she arrived.
What are they, like donuts? Donut dough and like balls?
Sort of, yeah. But
Is it filled with shit?
Yeah, with like the sort of donut type of consistency, but it's
But
nowhere.
what's it filled with? Like, no, is it jam or like any fillings inside or no?
No, if there is fillings, it's fruit and or raisins.
Oh, okay.
But
raisins.
But the batter is not as what you call it, not as thick as a donut, and it's also a bit lighter, and it's nowhere near as greasy on the inside as a donut is. And the batter is made with beer, classically, so it's really quite airy. So it has this sort of like a beer batter flavor. Like it's hard. It's a very Dutch thing.
Fairy Tale is driving and trying to listen, so let's do a whole bunch of like pictures and stuff.
Hi Lenny, welcome as a BeoTalker. Welcome as a new member.
Donut bowls. These are the donut plugs, bro. This is what Canadians punch out of the donuts, and we send it to Netherlands. That's what happens, and then they like that. We eat the outside of the donut.
Oh no, this is I think probably way older than
Tim Hortons.
No, than donuts, because this is like a cultural thing that's only ever in this country. First, let's see if.
Nice, Fairy Tale got the Browns BLF 28 with the brown oak. Right on, man. Right on. 428.
Nice.
Didn't we talk to you earlier about this? I think we spoken to you about what to get
a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Right on. 428 is not a bad way to go, man. Are you gonna use anything for center? Or fucking pay attention to the row, bro. Don't fucking chat and shit. But,
so, to put it this way, this is so cultural that they can't really tell where oliebollen come from. But one of the first references they have to them is from 1492.
Nice.
So it's way before donuts.
Oh, I'm sure. I like that you went with the 77 Harmony as a center. It's a good center channel to have, especially with the big screen over top of it.
It's the most sense-making of all the versions available, in my opinion.
Yeah, dude. Good for you, man. At what?
Well, we're at 13 minutes. We're gonna go to members only. So Fairy Tale, jump over to Twitch or be as cool as Lenny and become a member. But you're driving, so I guess that's hard.
Well, he's doing some serious fucking typing there too.
Yeah.
Unless you're using Siri or some shit.
Well, I'm amazed it came out that way.
Right.
Or do you have to like dictate like 4x space 28 apostrophe s? I don't know how that works.
Like, what's that? Steve Hawking's fucking way of talking.
Yeah.
In that robot voice.
If your voice is robotic, do you ever pass away? Because your voice will always be there.
His voice is always gonna be here. That's like the most. He picked like the most fucked up, as most rudimentary computer voice. Like, but I guess that's what back in the day only was available, right? And he would never change it because they did try to ask him if he wanted to change it or not. And he never did. So,
yeah. Or do you want to keep it on both today?
I don't care. 6 of one, half one does half the.
Let's see. What's the other?
We got 15 people watching on the YouTube, so why not just not cut him off and just keep going with it all?
Okay, fine. Have it your way.
That's right. Have it your way, Canada. So yeah.
In that case, I actually have some pictures to make your driving hard.
Nice. What is that?
This is one
Is
of
that,
the ladies and or people that worked on the 28th.
I think I met this guy as well. I never met that lady, but I think I've met him in and around the vicinity of 90s in the shape.
Yeah, I think he was there.
Does the Netherlands have street food stalls like Germany with the Wiener Schnitzel and currywurst, etc.?
Not really.
For us, like we have food trucks here, but like all these like hot dog street vendors and all that shit, that all died off with the Rona, man. Because nobody goes to bars, nightclubs, and that's where they were, making their money off of it. Those their most profitable time was from 1 to 3 in the morning.
Well, I mean, so we sort of have street food, which are called snack bars, but the thing is, most of that is not in like food trucks or stalls and stuff like that. If you go to a place like Amsterdam, you'll have it because it's so touristic-y that it's more for tourists than anything else. Like a lot of the street food is like fried fish or herring or things like that, or French fries. But like in terms of, it's not like Germany. No, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, the 28s are very nice in person. Fiery Tail says they sound incredible, and as back speaker they are sick. The individual bass they have is sharp and accurate. The immersion you get from them, having 4 speakers around you, is very fluid. Yeah, that's B&O's true image, which is fucking amazing.
And also you have the proper match because you have all 4 speakers, exact same, yeah. So full range, full tilt. Did you look into your menu for bass redirection to make sure that the redirection to the bass back speakers is also 100%?
Me?
No, Fiery Tail.
Oh,
because I just wondered how, just out of curiosity, how it would set it up. Would it go full tilt for all or not?
Yes. The only redirection would be from the center channel. That's how it would auto turn on. Because once you set the speaker, it auto calculates which is the most bass capable. And if they're all the same, then nothing turns on. But if you have something way more powerful than something else, it'll turn on by default.
Yeah, and redirect the bass.
Yeah.
I still put 100% back into the back speakers on the 18s. Yeah, they are fucking insane. Insane. Where is that at? Somewhere, those pictures, this dude.
Somewhere where they're making them.
Oh, the 28th?
Yeah. I think this is a part.
Fuck, I wonder if it's in Czech Republic, probably.
Could be.
Honza on the picture. But, yeah, they are sweet. It's funny that they're slightly taller than the 18s.
Not a lot, though. We're talking like 4 centimeters or something.
It's funny because out of all those speakers, I only don't have the 28s and the 6000. But copious amounts of pentas. I like that they have them all there. That they still kept. I think they dug them from the fucking museum. That's what they had to do. I bet you for that picture. I bet you for the picture they took all the from pentas to lab ones. That was all from the Struer Museum. Yeah, it's probably like listening to like these headphones. I guess the perception of space. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So I could only imagine what the 28s would do if they're in narrow mode, and you're sitting in a dead center. I don't think so, Tigers. I don't think they need a 4017 because those were bookshelves. These are just standalone speakers, and they would look fucking awkward like two little trolls there, especially the 4000. So I agree with that picture as it is. But yeah, it's funny how thinner they are, the 28s.
No, not with the picture. He says he thinks they need another, since the 17s are EOL, that they need to make another.
Oh yeah, sorry, no, I agree with you there. They should do something. But man, we paired up the fucking levels together. And I don't think there's really a need. Like, if you have those two, if you buy two levels, you basically have the equivalent of what the 4000 would sound like, but better, because it also attenuates to the room. So they kind of have a solution for it. It's just, I don't think it's advertised as such. That's my opinion. But also, like, you can't really run the levels to like the rear channels for your harmony at this point, unless they do something crazy with the Mozart platform and make it happen over the Wi-Fi and network.
Fiery Tail, I'm glad you're loving them so much. It's like an endless love stream of comments. It's fucking great. It's great to see.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're in Finland. Nice. That'll keep you warm in the dark days to come. Because it isn't, like in Finland and those sort of areas, isn't it going to basically be dark for like 20 hours of the days pretty soon?
Yeah, here it's getting darker sooner, so yeah, I get to enjoy. I remember, well, I never forget either how I was all over my 90s when I first got them, dude. I didn't even want to go to work, man. I lost 2 weeks of work, just fucking...
Mr. E. Mayan says he doesn't like the 18s so much. You're the first one.
He doesn't like the look of 18s?
Well, apparently he doesn't think they look that great. I personally like the 18s a lot, but I also like the 28s. And it seems to be like a hard cutoff where like people that love the 18s don't like the 28 so much.
I don't like the 18s in black. Because the fucking acoustic lens looks like it was just 3D printed. It looks very cheap. It's just the way that the aluminum works in the black anodizing. It just does not look good in that complexity of the angles and how much machining and such went in there. I don't like that. And I don't like the white and black grills. Wood is fine, but I don't like the white and black because they're just boring to me. It's plastic, and that's my statement. But other than that, I like them. Some people just can't get over the fact that what they look like. They're fucking wider and the lens and shit, you know.
Lenny says, love the 18s, don't like the foot of the 28s, but otherwise they look awesome. I get what people say, but it's so different in real life. Like, even pictures like these don't do it justice, really. Because it sort of makes it seem like it's sitting on some sort of peg, right, in pictures like this, because of the way the light is. But it's not like that in real life at all.
What?
In real life, the top tube is much more floaty. In a picture like this, it sort of seems like it's sitting on a black puck. But in actual fact, it's literally hanging off it.
Mm.
Like if you very much enhance.
No, when you see them in person, it's a different opinion. Like I said, I didn't like them at all on the first photos and stuff. But once I seen them in Vancouver, I was, holy fuck, these actually look nice, man, and they do sound awesome.
Yeah,
they do sound awesome.
It's really floating.
Mm-hmm.
And what they're capable of is also quite insane. I mean, I still love the ones, don't get me wrong, but yeah, they're older now. Had I been able to get universal power supplies, or if that was the thing with the jumper cable, then I would have possibly thought of some ones, because I just love ones. And I also know I'm in the minority in that.
I like that they have the same ones in the picture that I got. The dark gray ones. At least they look like they are dark gray.
I mean, one of the most underrated brands for how they are versus pictured is B&O. They're way different in pictures than in real life. And I think it's partially down to B&O half the time only doing renders, which I don't like. I don't think any of us like the renders. I mean, it's a decent impression, but come on.
I don't like that kind of shit. I don't like those pictures. What the fuck are you doing, man? Like, you can't possibly be more accurate than a machine doing this kind of stuff. And what is he, desoldering stuff?
Or putting it on.
I don't know. To me, those pictures just kind of look fakish.
By the way, Tigger said, but surely you can't replace cabinet volume with the cabinet volume of that size if it makes sense. 17s or 4000s. No, you absolutely can. That's why they're packed with so much sound deadening material, because that... So you have two train of thoughts, right? Like actual physical cabinet size, but you can do half the size if you pack it full of sound deadening material on the back, which... sort of has the virtual effect of the same giant cabinet. I mean, there's maths for it. I'm the wrong person to ask, but I understand how it works. Like, you can ask Jeff about it. Also, speakers being active, the cabinet size already goes down like 50%.
2/3.
Yeah.
So even more.
And I mean, that's why B&O speakers can be so slim and sound so enormous.
Well, yeah, but now even the crossover network is way more accurate because they can digitally correct for what they used to have a transistor or resistor for every frequency, right? Like if you look at the pentas, the crossovers are basically resistors that attenuate certain frequencies to certain speakers or take them out or whatever the fuck, so they don't hum and resonate together or within themselves. And now it's all digital. I love how they still use that plywood or MDF deal to make shit out of.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you can sort of see how they came to the concept of things. They always build it out of plywood, and I think it's before it's always like even the 90s were plywood before it went to the Beautify division of B&O.
Yeah, it is insane how they came up with that design. Or they probably came up with that design and then, okay, guys, we need to fit some shit in it.
Yeah.
Because that's how usually B&O works. The 90s were the only way that it was around that the guys at the sound department had the design by what it was supposed to be. Or what it was going to look like, or what it needed to look like in order to sound what it needed to be sounded like. And they did pretty good. Actually did excellent, in my opinion. So why is there two of them? I guess there's different stages of the prototyping. It would be the first one, I guess, is just the sides. And they figured out what the height was, I guess, for it.
Yeah, I think so. 2 seconds, my sister's bloody texting me annoyingly. Annoying. I can't hear you. You're muted again. For anybody watching, does
that work?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Weird. See, it fucked off on me again half an hour into it.
Strange.
It just went red. I don't get it. You just get half an hour to talk and then it just cuts off. Like, that's weird.
Maybe it doesn't expect you to have phone calls longer than that.
Well, how the fuck is that any different when you're playing a game and you're on a what's it called? The Discord, right?
I think they switch between phone mode and music mode when you're doing that.
Well, we'll see another half hour. A half hour of talking before I go mute. That's so weird.
Sorry, so I just remember saying, and my sister texted, and then I saw lips moving and didn't hear anything.
There you go. I don't know what I was saying anymore. How many does the 1440 kick out for wattage? I don't remember, dude.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's like 200.
I think it was 240 watts, maybe 120 per side, because it was a three-way speaker in there. I don't remember, but you can look it up in BeoWorld. They'll tell you exactly everything about that. And the BB14 was a mistake, in my opinion. You should have gone with the BB1140 and bought the wood grill for the 40 from the 14, and you would still have a great TV. Because I don't know, I haven't heard anybody talking good about the NGs like they are now. They're kind of stable now, but
what they do,
right? I just can't believe that they're running out of freaking Avant video boards. That's a bit sad.
Yeah, so if you have any issues, get it done now.
And what I don't like also that now, if you actually do have an issue, like I have an issue with the client, I found a board in Quebec because they actually had one, because the dude just decided, fuck it, I'm not fixing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the board had come pre-programmed to the serial number of his TV, so now it has to go back to Denmark to get reprogrammed, and hopefully nobody snatches it and I can get it back here.
Jesus Christ.
Like, it's just so ass backwards, man. I don't understand why they have to complicate that so much. I really don't. There's Kristen Krab fucking around. It is pretty cool how they've come to conclude these designs. Like, you know, how would it look like, what it should do,
how it should sound, what it should be capable of.
Mm-hmm.
Where all the connections go, and
how do you fucking wire it all? Yeah, it's insane how much design goes into it. Yeah, the stage would be a good one for bedroom mat.
Absolutely, it would sound way better than a 1440 anyway.
Oh, by a fucking long shot. By a long shot. I think I ordered a stage again, just to have. I don't know if you sent it, or I guess I'm gonna find out today later on, to see if I have shit on the go. What is that? Oh, that's the finishes for him, hey?
Yeah. I still love their anechoic chamber.
That is, I think this is the chamber where they also measure for what the electronics noise is. Or this is their new anechoic chamber, because I haven't been in this one. They more or less toured us through the Lab 90s, where that had the whole room that was on a suspension inside another room, right? Or another room inside was on the suspension. So it was really fucked up how quiet that room was. It's too much. It was way too much. Like when you stood in there, like they didn't even have to close the door. You could barely hear the people outside.
Yeah, and when you're a bit stuffy, you hear your nose like.
So I don't know for how. Like it's after a few. I think it only takes like a half an hour before you can hear your own pulse going through you if it's so quiet. It's those, what are those chambers called?
What, anechoic chambers?
No. Where you fucking go, not deprivation chambers. They have them here. Like, you go in there, you float in this fucking salty whatever.
Oh, sensory deprivation tanks.
Sensory deprivation tanks, yeah. Yeah, fucking lock up in there for like 4 hours, man. You'll see shit you wouldn't even dream up on mushrooms, man. When your brain starts going.
Tigris asked what specs the anechoic chamber at. I have no idea. It's silly quiet. It's quieter than needed.
Put it this way, like, they fucking rumbled pallet jacks with shit on them and tools and whatever, and you can imagine how loud that is on a concrete floor. And when you stood in that chamber, you couldn't hear anything. Absolutely anything. So I think personally, like, the 90s, they would be close to 0 dBs as possible. Like, there'd be no noise whatsoever. And I might have it somewhere recorded because I took the video of the dude explaining it back in 2015. But I haven't been to the one where they test regular speakers because that's in Czech Republic. But when I was in Denmark in whatever factory, I think it was Factory 5. I don't remember which one. We went through all of them. And they have that facility where it's the same thing. Like, it's an anechoic chamber, a little different. It's all white cones instead of the black ones. And they measure the basically board noise emissions. So if there's certain parts of the board that like have that high pitched squeak, right? Like you can, you know what I'm saying. So
that
they measure and read.
That nobody wants.
Yeah. So they measure for all that shit too, and then attenuate for that, or put filters, or cap them or something, just to make sure that it doesn't emit that noise. Almost looks like it's backlit on that Bang & Olufsen.
Yeah, would be sweet if it was.
That'll be another $600 for the fucking grill, dude.
Yeah, and an electrical cable that had to move with the rotation.
I think at that point, I think they should have it just contacts that you just plug in a grill and it just lights up that logo.
Yeah, but that whole panel moves.
No, I know. Well, there's speakers inside it with wires anyway, so what the fuck's another LED cable? Actually, you would need probably 2 of them. Right? One for the side when it's lamellas up, and one for the bottom or the top when the lamellas are down. That's pretty cool. I like the bronze. I would never buy it, but I like the look of it.
Yeah, same. I had a bronze BeoSound 1 for the longest time, and I really, really liked that.
Did you get rid of it?
Yeah, I managed to trade it for BeoSound 2.
Nice.
Because the BeoSound 2 is non-GVA, and the BeoSound 1 was GVA.
Gotta get rid of it. You know what I don't like about the level? That's the only thing I don't like about it, is the Google Voice Assistant. It's way too fucking loud, man, and you can't turn it down. Like, there's no way to turn it down. Because you turn down the volume overall, but there's no way.
I think you can turn it down in the Google Home app.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because you can set her to silent and night mode as well in the Google Home app.
Because she fucking just vengeance screaming, man. Like, it's a little too much.
One of the things I did when I had it, when you can set it to do not disturb, and I set it, my time frame of do not disturb was from 1 p.m. to 12:59 p.m. the next day. So I set it to the point where it was 1 minute where she was allowed to possibly say something to me.
You have 1 minute window of opportunity, bitch. Okay, Google Home. Go in there. So now I'm there. Okay, apartment, locks. Apparently my level is this is connected to balcony. And it's not available. Fuck. I'd have to like delete shit out of here too. Yeah, and for some reason, some of these things don't. Oh, it works through here. I don't understand how this actually works now, because like some of the stuff doesn't work on the gateway through the assistant, but I can turn on these lights here no problem. Like if we go to the office and see turn on and turn off, and it doesn't do it anymore. So I don't understand. So do I go to settings then? Then
Yeah.
audio features.
It's buried. They don't want you to know this shit. That's for sure.
Lower volume enrichment. And Google sensitivity. Adjust more devices. So where the fuck? It still doesn't. I can still see it. Alarms and timers. Pair Bluetooth devices. I'll go back one more.
So you can go to the level in the Google Home app and then
You can activate voice thing. What a bitch, eh?
Yeah, it's not easy at all. And I found it has a tendency to reset itself.
Because they're communists, bro.
No, they just really want to know what you're doing in the loo.
God.
I mean, big toilet paper is paying good money to know when you need new supplies.
Based on the plot, you're gonna need 4 sheets.
Yes.
Alexa, order me some more. Fucking...
And if it doesn't plop, you need some Pepto-Bismol or whatever it's called.
Fucking rockin' around or whatever. So there are holes on the top of that speaker. I was thinking, like, the fuck is that?
Yeah, they're pinholes, though.
For what? For the mics?
I think so.
Or also proximity sensors?
Well, there's both in there.
So if you have it in PowerLink mode, does it show the volume information on the top or not?
I actually don't know.
Fiery, if you're still around, man, when you turn your speakers up, when you're listening to them through Avant, do they show the volume on top? Because that would be more or less like the 90s, what they do, right? They show you.
I think they very well could do that, and I actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think through your 28 you can control volume up and down on your Harmony. Because you can just on the top.
So you could play and pause your music or music. Could you play and pause later, whatever shit you're listening to or watching through Apple TV with the just tapping on one of the 28s?
I think so, but I'm not 100% sure.
Cool. We are 16 minutes away before I go muted again. maybe we'll see.
I do must say I like the walnut covers. But
fucking walnut is nice. It's the nicest wood that they offer, in my opinion.
Yeah. But I have nothing in walnut, and I'm not going to change everything over to walnut.
No, I started with walnut, so then it was easier to have the speakers around that.
I mean, if I was going to change everything to walnut, it would cost me a bloody fortune.
Mm-hmm. Well, walnut is not a cheap wood also, right?
No, let's see, what would it... Well, with the 28s, I could amend my order, probably. But it would be like $6,000 for the 18s and 50s to be replaced.
Walnut?
Yeah, to make it walnut.
To be nutted? Yeah, that's a lot.
I'm not sure that's worth it. I'd rather buy another set of 18s at that point.
Yeah.
Or 2 sets of 17s.
Where would you put those?
If I had more 17s, ceiling. It's like height front, height rear. But I already know it's not going to end well because like my Harmony is full at the moment, so it would have to be over WiSA.
Yeah.
Which, if I had a normal house, would work great. But, yeah. Not right now.
Not in the apartment. Yeah, not in the apartment, that's for sure. Yeah, I wonder how good would my speakers perform. Well, I guess they do, because I don't have any issues. Because my 18s are wirelessly connected.
Yeah, I've never tried with my 18s. Maybe it's also that the length of antenna in the 18 is just longer or at a better position or something like that.
Well, 18s have the antennas. I think they have one at the back and three at the front.
Yeah, maybe it would change if my 17s were like actually 90 degrees different than sideways.
Yeah, but 17s have the antennas on the sides of the aluminium and the one in the front as well. From what I remember back in the yesteryears, like there's no fucking way they should be like every corner of them has an antenna, even the one behind. There's an antenna like directly behind the mounting mechanism.
Yeah, well, you saw it in action when it wasn't working great otherwise.
Yeah.
It worked most of the time, but just not all of the time. And if it dropped out, it only dropped out for like, I don't know, 10 seconds.
A split second, not even. It was a split second when it just came off.
But it's annoying when you watch a movie and it's like...
You lose a channel, yeah. Yeah, that's not fun.
I mean, it's almost less noticeable when that channel isn't playing the whole time.
I just find it kind of ironic that when we were first selling the Weiss's idea, right, that it's just basically on the frequencies that there is no way that anybody ever would dabble in, right?
Well, because it's short range.
And then, 10 years, not even 10 years later.
I mean, it's one of these frequencies that has trouble going through just about any obstruction. Like, it's very short wave.
Yeah, but still, we had the transmitter in the most unideal place in the shop. It was sitting beside a fucking Wi-Fi router because I just pushed it to the limits. Sitting beside a Wi-Fi router on top of a BIOS Master 5. And because the BIOS Master 5 and BIOS Sound 5 was connected to it, so because we had the 18s. And it was sitting basically like, the old, if anybody remembers what the old B&O shops used to look like. That before the hardwood floor and spinning turnies and shit. Like, that's when I was pushing it, and it never really dropped out, which was interesting. But then again, that was 2012, 13, when I still used the fucking flip phone, bro. I was still rocking the Serene.
It could also be that, like, the standard router for this building is Huawei, so we're all being spied on by the Chinese, so maybe they're also on different frequencies. They built, like, a whole backbone on the Wi-Fi. That's why my speakers don't work here.
It's their Wi-Fi internet now.
I mean, I kind of told tongue-in-cheek B&O, like, the next Harmony needs more PowerLink plugs. Sort of like, haha, funny, because mine is full, but somewhat serious, like, it would be nice if I had one more.
I think they should have it like they did on the old BIOS Center, or BIOS System 3, where they had 7, 8. I think there was 8 PowerLink inputs, right? Center, sub, and then, it was 8 of them.
Yeah, okay, but they weren't dual channel, were they?
Yep, every single one.
Yeah, but center is not 2 channels.
Yeah, it is if you put two 4000s together.
Sure, but it's not like center 1 and center 2.
No,
but you're doubling it up through the wire, so to say.
Yes.
But it's not like 2 distinct...
You can't do it center back and center front. You can't do that. but you have two centers coming out of it. But I'm saying, like, if it was a fucking, we're talking a true image platform, so it doesn't matter. Like, you have, there's two PL channels coming out. Doesn't matter if it's a center or sub or whatever, right? Like, if they just did the board similar to what the old one was with more RJ45 connectors, I think they should put 4 more.
Lenny is asking, coming back to Henrik's comment yesterday to get a moment. Can you still use the moment to full extent when it comes across the Deezer? Yeah, absolutely. It's just
everything works other than that stupid circle doesn't work. So if you're a playlist person, you are unaffected, absolutely unaffected. If you are like, the only reason why it affected me with the moment is at the time when this was cool, like, you know, my girlfriend would come over or my friends would come over, and I would put the moment on, like, you know, the wood panel down so the screen is on, and then they can just tap whatever, and it was basically like Russian roulette of the music, right, to see what's next or what comes up. But we always ended up fucking just going to a playlist afterwards. So if you're looking for something like that, then the moment is a no-brainer.
So basically, everything the only thing that's not working on it is the mood wheel, where you can sort of set, I feel energetic, put random energetic music on.
Well, the mood wheel works, but the inner circle doesn't, which is what your Deezer selection and all of your music is basically amalgamated into the center's inner circle. And then further out you go, it's if you go to the middle circle, it's a 50-50 hit between what you have in your library and 50% hit between what the wild card would be brought or played for you. And then the third circle is basically just fucking you don't have it at all, and it's just, let's just tap that and see what starts playing. So that's what that mood wheel does. Now, if that mood wheel still does that, it just doesn't put your it doesn't consider your library in that algorithm. So I still use it every now and then. I actually did find some fucking cool songs because it just started rolling. What the fuck is that? Put it to my favorites, liked it, and, you know, obviously it saves. So I still like the moment. I still use it. It's a classic system to me.
Yeah, sometimes I think I could buy one just to play with it. But then again, would I ever use it? Probably not. Well, the thing, so using the mood wheel to check out new music is working.
Yes.
Yeah. It has like 3...
It's just not going to be based off of your library. Exactly.
Yes.
It's just going to be a fucking random ass, like, if you still feel energetic, it still plays something energetic, because that entire genre classification system that these are done for B&O or with B&O back in whenever the moment came out is now basically utilized also with the Deezer Flow, where they break it down to 365 moods or whatever the fuck. So that is, or 360 moods, because that's the whole, like, I guess, every degree of the wheel. So that's essentially what the pattern play / or the mood wheel was. Pattern play somewhat works because it just goes off of what you normally would listen to. So if you listen to a lot of radio, it'll fucking turn on the radio, and it turns on. At this point, I think the pattern play, as far as the work of it just turns on the last station that it was turned on. It doesn't change for me, but I always listen to fucking Lounge FM. Anyways, so it doesn't for you. I'm very, I guess, a monotonal or in what my station selection is, because I just listen to one thing. And
so to put it this way, if I bought this new like 3 years ago, then I am annoyed at the moment. If I bought this second hand for what they seem to go for now, around €500-600 here, I wouldn't be that annoyed, because fuck it.
You're making the decision consciously also.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you fucking toss, like, you know, me and other of my clients, but back in the day, like, mine ran out of warranty month into them cutting all the shit off of it, which kind of pissed me off, right? Because yeah, it has warranty, but you can't really do anything with it or can't resell it. And I don't even want to resell it. I like it. I like that it's here, and I like the fact that it's the fucking IR. Because regardless of what happens, I even considered rebuilding my shape to a point where I buy two wireless receivers, and I bring the moment in my bedroom so that BeoTime works properly with the fucking thing, and then just hide two receivers inside the shape itself, reset the tits out of the amplifier, and just make it fucking stereo, and or leave it as it is and forget about it. And take the core out, and the link eye, and the fucking converter, and I might get rid of the 9000 behind me at some point. Like I said, if I'm not enjoying it anymore, I would like to have somebody else to enjoy it. So, yeah, that is that's my stance on the moment.
So a BSN moment, what does it seem to go for? Well, asking is, it used to be about 600 or so. Well, it depends on where you buy. Like some of these are dealers. So with a dealer, you'll actually get a warranty, but I would expect to pay somewhere between 600 to 700 for it.
Yeah, it's not that tragic though, if you look at the pricing. Not for what it is. Like, you think about it, €875. How much is a core? 700?
I'll look it up. See what a second-hand core is.
No, just brand new core. See, if you're gonna fucking get a core, you might as well just get a brand new one.
Let's see. BSN core is €800 as well. $799. But the core doesn't have WISA and doesn't have...
It's a brainless argument. Doesn't have anything other than the fact that you need a phone to operate it, and or another additional remote control for a few €100 on top of it. Where this one, if you already got a fucking BO4 or you want to buy one on Facebook for €100 or whatnot, then you're set. Like you're completely set.
Yeah. Fire tells, I have one question. Last time I was going to take some soundbar and make it mid-speaker, but you told me the optimal should be harmony. Yes. So I went for harmony because it connects all the speakers to it and would cause delay if it was wise, etc. So got that fixed. Okay. What's the question? Because that's all true. Yeah. Especially if you use the stage, that just doesn't work. Because the delay is way too long.
Yes.
With the harmony, you can do WISA no problem because the TV figures out the delay for you. And since it has somewhat some control over the picture, it auto delays everything so it's all in sync.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the way to properly do it. Otherwise, you're going to be tinkering and fucking around, and it's never a good time. Your €1,000 soundbar, what about it? Or what is it?
Don't know. Turned into 22 grand harmony. Sorry about that.
Oops.
But you made the better purchase for sure.
Well, I think now you have a soundbar for life, because as long as that mechanism keeps moving and speakers work, you can just keep on switching panels.
Not only that, the amount of control you have over all the speakers attached is insane.
You'll never have that on any receiver at any point of your life, ever.
So, to put it this way, with speaker groups, right? Let's say you always look at your TV like that, but you have a table behind it where you sit that way towards those speakers. You can put it to the different speaker group where front, left, and right is the back speakers, because you can settle that in speaker groups.
Yeah. I think the first time that idea was toyed with was the adaptive sound technology. And that's where B&O started really pushing on, like, if you want to do ASD, you should have 4 speakers of the same equal power.
Yeah.
For your surround. Or 6 of them, I guess, or 3 pairs if you're doing ASD surround. And It fucking works so good. Is that your place, Fairytale?
No, this is from the
I know.
But basically, this is his place now.
Yeah. Yeah, because you get the walnut ones too. Walnut browns.
Brennan says, Mickey, you need 2 more 50s. Yes, that was the initial idea when I bought my 50s.
But the balcony door is in the fucking way.
No, not for here. When I initially bought my 50s, we were already looking at moving. And I was looking at an apartment where it would definitely fit 4 50s, front and rear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then the ticking started, and then we lost out on that place. So with all that in mind, I was like, yeah, well, you lost your shit on this. And then like a year and a half later, we moved here, and then the balcony door indeed is in the way. And then the idea changed to like, okay, we're not living here forever anymore. So if we move to the States, I'll get some 90s or something, if that's within the budget and the moving and shipping isn't too crazy. Because I feel you need some proper space. And I mean, they could technically fit there, but you get like that space in between here is just not optimal. And I have cats, and with vacuuming and that sort of shit, it's like, plus with the knowing of eventually moving anyway, it's like I'd rather have them all pristine new in box and shipped than having to like wrestle them up the stairs here and get them through the door and that sort of shit.
Mm-hmm. Even if you buy the product demos, like, does your dealer toss the boxes out for speakers like that or no?
No. Well, some of them. So he doesn't keep everybody's boxes. He keeps boxes on hand, obviously. But
no, but like if you have a fucking set of 90s in the shop, like, would you not keep the boxes for them if you sell them?
He would, definitely, sure. But so, if he has like 3 customers that all have 90, so to say, and he has some in the shop, he'll just keep one set of packaging, and if he needs to order new packaging.
No, that's fair. That's fair. But he still has some. Like, you can still go and buy. I mean, like, if you were to just get the 90s, you could probably negotiate a deal from the floors display ones, right? Get them packed up and fuck off with them. Also, Fairytale, for your harmony, if your sound for the middle is not as good or center channel is not as good, go to Henrik's YouTube channel, the BOTF, and look for a Jeff Martin interview with him. And it's about 3 minutes into it or 4 minutes into it where he talks about how to set properly if you have, a 3-way center channel TV where you put the center speaker, and then if you use those other sides where you set them. And I've set my Avant to that spec, and it made a fucking day and night difference. And Avant is no comparison to the 90s when it comes to imaging or whatever, but it somewhat keeps up much better than what it used to have.
In all honesty, it sounds like, since you earlier said you just plugged and played, you need to be conscious.
You need to calibrate this shit, yeah.
Yes. Download an dB meter app and make sure all the speakers are at the same output level.
Yeah, I bet your TV is about 3 to 4 decibels lower than what it should be if you have those issues.
Yeah.
This is it. Yeah, this is the video. So this is what he talks about. It's a longer video than I thought it was. But this is a very informative piece of a video that you can get, and I highly recommend.
So if you into it. Yeah, so he said just plugged it in.
So yeah,
that means
right way to do it.
Roughly all the 28s are going to be within spec, but I said roughly because you have if you're a layman, you may underestimate how much an effect your room has on making a speaker sound louder by if it's in a corner, closer to the wall than another, or freestanding.
Did you calibrate the 28s individually or no?
Yeah,
that's another question.
That's basically the setup procedure you go through.
Okay, so they would be
like you
more
could
or less
not,
the same.
But it's almost like it's like in the next step, but you can press skip. But why would you?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, your TV is definitely at least 3 to 4 decibels lower, if not more, than when your speakers are set. So the way I always do it, I set the TV to 65 with white noise in it, right? And that gives you about 60 dB to measure from where you sit. And then you go speaker by speaker down the list, and then you match everything into, yeah, no, you gotta decibel match the fucking speakers to the TV, bro.
Yeah.
That's gonna make it way. It's gonna make a way.
So the app
difference.
calibration for the 28 is only sort of for how it follows the frequency curve, not for how specifically loud it is.
Yeah, that doesn't have anything to do with your surround loudness.
So to put it this way, like since my furthest 50 is much more in a corner, that is by nature louder because corners amplify sound more than this 50. So
I would also say it's fair to assume that you probably didn't even put the distances in your speakers.
Probably not, no.
In a TV. That's another, because everything is fucking 1 meter away from you, which it's impossible and it's not true.
Yeah, so this, my right 50 has about +1 or +0.5 dB, depending a bit on what volume you calibrate with, over the other. Just because it's in here, in this spot, and not in the other.
Yeah.
But they're calibrated with the microphone the same way. Same for the 18s. My 18 to the left of my dining room table at the back is way more freestanding. That's in the classical wall setting, where that would be corner. The corner amplifies sound a lot more than a wall does. If I were to pull them both in a meter into the room, I would have to turn the volume up a lot more compared to the 50s once again, because if they're freestanding, they dissipate energy quite a lot easier.
Yes.
Oh, so if your distances are good, then you need to go to the relative dB settings. I forget what it's called.
We got the technology to help you.
You go to the...
Mikey's fucking 9'8" and his arms are still not long enough to reach the remote. Should get the back scratcher to fucking pull it in.
I think it's actually partially optically. This thing looks like it's quite close to me.
No, I know, it's far
from the tip of my finger. It's like still a meter to my 50. So you go to sound and BeoLink, speaker groups. It will probably be called startup, and then you go to speaker level. In speaker level, you can't see, but you get left front 0 dB. Center, my center compared to the 50s is 1.5 dB over.
Mm-hmm.
Then this one is 1 dB more. Then my furthest left 17 is 2 dB more. Then the right one is 0, etc., etc. So just the accuracy of a dB app in your phone doesn't matter. It's what matters is that they're relative to each other the same. And your phone is good enough for that.
Yeah.
Fire Chill says, if you see where I put one of my 28, you'll ban me from the channel. I doubt that, because they're meant to be wherever they are, wherever you
wherever they fit. Yeah.
That's what the whole room compensation and the whole control is in the TV for that. That's what it's meant for. Lenny says, when was the last firmware update released for the Moment? And can you multi-room from the Moment to labs connected to a core? Yes.
Oh yeah, you can. Like I use my. This is still my audio master. Like it's still, if the TV turns on music or TuneIn or Deezer, it's playing from the moment. Same thing for the kitchen TV. I segregated the bathrooms more or less. So if you have something that, you know, like if somebody's in the other bathroom, they want to listen to something else for whatever reason, then they can if it's not joined in. But yeah, and I've disconnected everything from the secondary as a 9, which used to be my 9000, because every now and then you turn on the, you know, if you want to cycle through sources, then the CD comes on and the fucking 90s kick in the middle of the night when I don't need them. So that's yeah, you do though. You calibrate them one speaker at a time, of course.
Well, you can't do it any other way.
That's right.
Set your TV to whatever is your most common volume level that you use, and then just sit there quietly with your DB app and your phone, and make sure, like, if it's on your phone, right, and the microphone is here, make sure you don't hold it like that. Hold it that way if the microphone is here, because if it will obviously change if your hand is like halfway in front of the microphone.
I bought the Sound Meter Pro app, which is it also automatically rotates my phone upside down.
Yeah.
So my microphone is at the top, so when I'm measuring, it actually hears from, and you fucking turn to the speaker that you're measuring. So if you're sitting there and you're doing the back speaker, then go around there and basically look where it sits, and then tune it or and go up and down. I start at the, like I said, volume level on the TV at 65. It's not that because I listen to it, but I find that that's where the my phone at least picks up the best when it comes to sensitivity of the microphone that I have in my phone, and then it's more accurate. Also, I would recommend doing it twice. Do it during the daytime and then do it during the nighttime, like not as dark as possible, but as dark as possible. Because the sound does get affected by the amount of light that is in the room. And I know it sounds like a fucking weirdo now saying that.
It's not the light, it's the moisture.
But there's a whole bunch of shit that affects how you hear it.
Your house during the day has a lot more moisture in it than at nighttime because of the temperature differences, and the moisture is actually, like, look at it like where we are now, or like if you're underwater and you start screaming. It's so different.
Yes.
And the moisture will actually have an effect.
Any idea about the firmware run? Yeah, it's also coming back to Multiroom. Is everything BNO compatible with Mozart platform products like Network Link? Not yet. That software is coming very, very soon.
But
right now,
sorry, the moment is not the the part in that which is incompatible. It's the Mozart bit that needs to be ported backwards to the ASE platform.
That's right. So you should be fine with what's it called? Like, if you want to get the only thing that you should be prepared for, that if you have a hard-on for a Halo, don't expect it to work on a fucking moment. It doesn't, unfortunately. And there's a couple of glitches with that too, because when I'm listening to my Avant TuneIn or Deezer, I can mute, but I can't, which play pauses, but I cannot skip tracks, even though there are buttons there and you tap them. So that's a little bit of a drawback when it comes to the Moment. But Moment will not get any more fucking updates on them. I'm quite interested, actually, how it would look if it's going to be tied in with the level. If there's going to be icons for it, because right now there's an icon for every product. So if I join the Moment from the Shape in the bedroom, then it shows that it's playing from Shape and it shows one tile. If it's playing from the M3 that I'm linked to, it shows a little icon of an M3 on the BeoSound Moment if I'm joining it from there. So the Moment is basically, look at it the same as a BeoSound 5. As it works right now, that's as you get it. And just like they fucked off with the Spotify on the BeoSound 5 platform, that's as much they fucked off on the Mood Wheel with the Moment.
don't mistake our mostly bitching about the moment for that it's inoperable. It still works. It's just most of our bitching about the moment is from the perspective of I bought this as new full price or close enough.
And I did.
Yes.
I fucking did, man. And, I bought it for the 90s, first of all. And then I connect the 90s, and the 90s connect via Wi-Fi as a fucking other, because there's not even a preset for these things. So how is that fair?
That if you don't need to buy any products to set any of this up. A free dB meter is good enough. You don't need with 428. You don't need to buy. If you really wanted to, you could do hide speakers, but that's up to you. You don't need any of it.
No.
But I'm asking, how did you measure the distances for your TV and speakers to where you sit? Because if you measured it with your iPhone with that measuring app is quite easily 20 to 30 centimeters out.
And that makes a big difference.
Yes.
If you have a spouse and a long enough measuring tape, then have her sit in there, hold the tape, and just read out the shit if you don't trust her so she doesn't scratch your shit on the speakers. And if you are a little bit more fancy, then I always carry a laser gauge, and I just pink, pink, pink off of my chest and just measure to each speaker. Bob's your uncle. Exactly that.
Yeah. I measure it from my right ear to the left speaker and from my left ear to the right speaker. That way I can make that sort of virtual box around my head where I always sit.
See, everybody has their own beliefs. How to set it up.
Well, that's kind of what you do when you, like, with the microphone and 90s and or 50s, right? You're supposed to make that box around your head. So I thought, because with your right ear, you still want to know, you can still hear it's from there.
Yeah, but with the 50s and 90s, you tune, let's say you start here, then you go basically center of your head and then one behind 6 inches, right? There's these 3 steps.
Yeah, because so that makes that sort of virtual perfect.
Yeah, it takes it across. And it's so fucked up how accurate that is. That if you move your head by, let's say 10, 15 centimeters, it's gone. The imaging is literally gone.
Yeah. It's still stereo, but it's arguably better if you're like...
Yeah, there's that little extra detail that you cannot get if you're just outside of that little bubble.
With 28s, cool. It's not as precise, obviously, because otherwise there would be $5,000 more. But in terms of what you... If you're very content with how it sounds now, why bother buying more? You could buy more speakers, but only if you really care.
Personally, I would suggest set it up properly right now, live with it for a few weeks, and then fuck around with more. Because there's no point. Like, if you don't have it set up correctly, it doesn't matter how much more you buy, it's not going to be at its optimum and prime. No. It's just not going to be there because it's just not set up correctly. So I would just take a seat, have a fucking shot of bourbon or whatever you drink, and set your shit up proper and nice and quiet, and then see.
Yeah, very important to set shit up properly.
Because even though, like, B&O is not classified more or less as a BO or audiophile speaker type, they're pretty fucking accurate, man. Like, what they can pull off, it's unbelievable. And I don't care what people think, if it's not audiophile grade or not. To me, they all are. Some of them are not as good as the others, but if you have it set up nice and right, it's an amazing experience, period. But that math that the system needs for the sound to be worked and distributed properly needs to be input correctly from you in there.
Yeah,
that has to be there, because otherwise you're fucked. But I would watch that video that we talked about earlier with Jeff Martin interview, and set your speakers up in the Avant or Harmony exactly the same way, and you will be surprised.
By the way,
literally be surprised.
If you go sit with a dB meter, don't be surprised if there's one or two or maybe more speakers that you have to turn down relative to other speakers.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bad thing to go minus X dB, whatever it needs to be.
Dude, as long as it matches the sound. As long as that measurement matches, the needle goes back to where the fuck you set it up from the start to get-go. It doesn't matter what the numbers are saying on the speakers, because that's irrelevant to you psychologically, I guess. But it's very relevant to the DSSC board to make sure that the sound is properly propagated through where it's supposed to go and delayed properly and so on and so forth. So that's something that I would recommend. Yeah, I would recommend highly going through it. I'm very anal about that shit when I set up my
because it makes so much difference.
Clients don't understand. Fuck, like my buddy Ray's house, he bought the 85-inch 90th anniversary Avant, and then he decided, because I bought a pair of bronze 18s with it was rose gold 18s with the the 90th anniversary with the sub. I bought the whole kit and caboodle, and he bought them from me, and he got the 17s, and I'm like, bro, we should fucking do some heights, because like the house that he moved into, he has 4 speakers up above, right? So I fucking threw a passive kit on it, and I set him up as heights, and he's sold an oil company, like he's an old-time oil guy, right? So obviously, naturally, what movie would you demo better than the fucking Deepwater Horizon? And when the shit started to hit the fan, dude, and those height speakers, like he was looking up at the ceiling because he was like, holy fuck.
Your mic really changes, by the way, if you do that.
Does it?
Yeah, and I think it's reflection because of
Yeah, does it sound worse?
Yes.
It is probably, because where's the microphone?
There's 4 of them in there.
They're more to the bottom.
6.
There's a few of them. There's 2 inside, aren't they? In the ear?
Yeah, and you have the virtual boom arm thing.
Mm-hmm. Boomy boom.
Can I keep the mic level? I would keep it at head level regardless, or rotate it towards the speaker. Keep it at head level regardless. I keep it straight up. You point it. There's no real right or wrong. The difference is minimal. Whatever sounds best to you, really. You can try both. I mean, with each speaker group, you can set this differently.
And remember, they're yours, so you can set them up whatever way you want them, first of all. Second of all, if it's not the right way that you don't like it, set it up the other way. Fuck around. That's the beauty of having awesome shit and
the control.
Having it new.
You can do whatever you want with it.
Exactly.
You have so much control. And like I said, with speaker groups, if you sit like that, you can make that forward and that back.
You can sit down and sit in another side of wherever the fuck you sit, because I haven't seen the layout of the room. But you can just swap them. So, like, if you sit there and you just want, that's my fucking music listening spot, then you just have what used to be your front right or front left is your front right now, and your rear left will be your front left now.
Yeah. I mean, I was just thinking about it. If I sit like this and made a speaker group for this position, I could make my front right 50, my left front speaker, and then my right rear 18 make my right front.
Yeah.
And then stereo comes in this way.
Yeah, it's from what I read, there's like 21 point something million combinations that you have as far as possibilities to set up speaker groups if you had all the speakers connected with WiSA. But yeah, that's it's funny that you say that it's easier to set up than anything else, because people that are not from BNO or never seen BNO, for them it's holy fuck, this is so complex and all this shit. And then I go into places where they have like 17 fucking remotes on a coffee table, one for each everything, right, including the LED lights. And I pick up the remote and I have no fucking clue how to work it. because I have to learn it now, right? Like, because I've, what are the odds that I ever come across a fucking Roku remote, even though I own Roku players? I don't have a Roku remote because it's all fuck tables and shit, right? I just picked up a Beo remote, one fucking, here you go. My lights, my whole life is right fucking here. And it just, god damn it. And then these people come around, oh, fucking B&O, blah, blah. It's so overpriced and it's not worth it. And like, you fucking dummy. Like, for what you get and where it is and how it sits and what it looks like, I'm willing to pay that price instead of looking at a fucking enough dust bunnies to make a fucking wig out of for an Einstein costume. And it's just gross everywhere. There's amplifier or a receiver, shit's lit up like a Christmas tree underneath it all. I don't like it.
Yeah, be a remote. It's so intuitive that was this No, this was nearly 2 years ago. A friend of mine that doesn't have B&O came to cat sit for like 10 days or whatever it was, and my girlfriend was explaining it, and the friend of mine, she within 5 minutes understood the remote and how everything worked.
Yeah. Yeah, it does change how the whole house look like. It fucking brings it up a notch. That's for damn sure.
Fancy.
Fancy. I always, you know what? I still get a kick out of people coming over my place that never been over my place, and they haven't seen B&O at all, and they just fucking fold and fall apart when they see all this, right? Even though the TV is almost 10 years old now, the movement and all this shit, and like, holy fuck, where did you get this? I'm like, dude, this is 2012, 13. What? Yeah.
Yeah, BV10 and 11 still don't look old. The BeoSound 5 doesn't look old.
No.
And that's bloody Windows XP or whatever it is.
I think it came out in 2008, so we're pulling on 13 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time, bro.
The sound is amazing. I don't want the house to look like a man cave. Well, it depends on what you're into in your man cave. Like, I don't like these wooden boxes. Like, that's not a man cave to me. To me, my living room is not exactly a man cave, but it is to me. It just so happens that my other half also likes it, which is really nice.
Yeah, but like, I don't see, like, your decor is your decor, right? But I think that a lot of us B&O people and B&O collectors, we have a very same style and collector and furniture collection mentality. We all, a lot of people like the Eames. A lot of people like the Herman Miller furniture, Muto, and like, the Alvar Aalto or Itala glass, where there's a lot of shit. I don't have a shop in US. I live in Canada, so I am basically an independent consultant in here.
Next time you hear anybody with a North American accent, you have to ask, say about.
About.
No, Canadians don't say a boot, they say a boat.
Say about.
It's closer to boat than it is
It's about right. It's about right.
Yeah. And they say a lot.
Fucking A it is.
Yeah.
You know what sucks though? Speaking of fucking A, I was always bothered by the fact that I come over to the job sites and the electricians would always wire the cat cables in the A standard, not the B standard, right? A standard is more or less for older equipment and such. B standard windings are tighter and it's just a faster data transmission and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on a job site once and the electrician was fucking terminating all this shit. And like, I don't know why the fuck he was doing it, because I was going to do it and I had to do it anyways. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Oh, they're putting these in. I'm like, what standard are you doing? I'm like, A. I'm like, why the fuck do you guys always do it in A? I'm like, it's Canada, fucking A. That was the answer. There's no fucking logic, technological background to it whatsoever. Fucking A, Canada. That's why we're doing everything in A. I'm like, no, you fucking moron. You're doing it in a B standard, stupid. That's where, like, this is, you don't have DSL internet anymore, dick. Oh, and the cheapest cable money can fucking buy, which I cannot. Oh. No
Lenny says, just looking around the web for a BSN moment, does it only seem that it has a lot of battery issues? Not a lot. It has some over time, like any battery. Can only be exchanged by BNO service provider. No, you can do it yourself, but you need plastic tools to not damage it, and you need to know what you're doing.
Bro, if you got 2 credit cards, you can fucking open that thing up. That's all. That's what I did with. I did it with a fucking Tim Hortons and a Wendy's fucking card. Yeah. Fucking not even joking, you dude.
We have a podcast on that somewhere where you were showing that it was bulging.
Yeah, it was bulging, and I have... Where the fuck is it? Right here. I blew it. And I have the... We're planning to shoot the battery with the BB gun, but we've never gotten around to do it yet. But this is the moment's battery. See how it fucking bubbled up? And that's what was giving me the watermark on my display. It's very easy to remove. And, well, you just got to be careful because it does bend, but you don't want to fuck with it too much. But you just pull off. These are not like the cell phone battery tabs. That doesn't exist. They just hardcore tape the shit out of it, and that's it. So just make sure you don't catch this shit on fire, because then you're gonna be in a lot of trouble.
How much was the part? Do you remember?
I think the battery, it's $150. It's not cheap.
Canadian. But, so in euro, that's like $100, €100. Sorry, something like that.
Yeah, it's about €100 or some shit.
But then again, you'll be good for like at least 5 years. So is that a lot of battery issues? Not really. Like, how long does your phone last on the battery?
Mine?
No, any phone.
Yeah, this one is a 3.7 volt, 35 milliamp hour. TCL Hyperpower batteries incorporated. Wonder if I scan that fucking little QR code, something comes up. Let's see. Weird, it just pulled up some serial number of it. But yeah, the battery is not that hard to exchange, man.
Any other known issues? Well, I guess the screen could go. But that doesn't happen often. Most of those I've ever heard from are fall damage or stuff like that.
Yeah, if you drop it down on the screen's face side, that's the same. You're fucked as on the phone would be. But the battery is the only thing that is a really big of an issue, or a bit of an issue. The rest, it just works, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would... if you're considering, like, if you're torn between a second-hand moment and a core, I think the second-hand moment is a no-brainer. Even if... Because you're going to buy it, like, it's going to be the same price, basically, based on what we're looking at, right?
Yeah.
So if you buy that, and you still got to eat a dick on a battery with the moment, then you're still ahead than what you would have been if you bought a brand new core and a fucking remote with it. Because you would still need a remote, like, and I think the best one would be at that point is a Beo Remote 1, because if you do have radio stations that you like on TuneIn, excuse me, they synchronize with the remote control, so you can pick the stations directly. Kind of wish that they did that for Deezer playlists, that you could call up a Deezer playlist through the Beo Remote 1, but I don't think that we'll see that ever.
No, and
they can't get fucking metadata on a Harmony from the Deezer, let alone the fact that they're going to be able to load up a playlist to your remote. So
it's one of those things where I don't know what to say, really. It's I mean, overall, the moment as a second hand, the price you pay for it now, I wouldn't be fussed. I'd have it over a core for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it's nice that you have WiSA and that sort of stuff, and you get a nice display. Because say whatever you will about it, it does feel quality to have something like that in your hand over any other sort of tablet style thing.
Yes.
Unless you go out and buy an iPad Pro, maybe. But an iPad Pro is more expensive than the bloody moment.
Mm-hmm. Does it only work if the remote is directly connected to the core via Bluetooth, right? No, you can do... If you don't... if you have a brand new core that has never been connected to a shape or a shape amplifier before, you can put a link eye on it, and you can use a regular old-timey BO4 if you have one. If you have bought one that has been tainted by the amplifier, then it only works with the BO Remote 1 as an IR. But at that point, what the fuck are you going to do the IR for when you can just do Bluetooth?
Yeah.
So...
E-Mines says, but with the core you can plug in a BeoSound. Can you plug in a BeoSound with a moment? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Still has a optional in.
Yeah, it's got RCA inputs. It doesn't have the optical in, but it just has the 2 RCA inputs.
Sandeep says, surprised anybody would recommend a moment in 2021. The screen itself is laggy in a 2014 way. Just a note for those who have tried one. Yeah, but we're talking specifically, do you get a core or a moment? They're the same price. And do you want to hold your phone for controlling the BeoLab speakers? Because
And
with the moment, you can still go in your phone and do everything for the moment. And then the lag, so to say, is gone.
Yes.
Because you're just using your phone. But if you want...
I don't use the moment for the sake of the screen of it at all, man. Like, for real. Like, if I do it, have it flipped up every now and then, it's just because I fucking forgotten to put it back to the wood side. But I don't care for it. Like, what I like about this is not really much more than it has IR, so I can control and I can do the gateway with it. And if it does turn out to be that I want to move it to my bedroom as just a bedroom audio system, then I can just wirelessly connect it with 2 receivers to the core. And that's basically the argument. It's not about I think that, yeah, it's not even recommending, one versus the other, but one is a more truer of a B&O product than the other too.
Yeah.
You know
also,
what I mean?
with what Henrik was saying, if you ever move up to WISA capable speakers, 20s, 18s, whatever, you can do that,
set.
but you can't do that with a core.
Yeah, that's another 500-600 euros, I guess, for the transmitter, right?
Yeah.
If they still have it in production. I think they do, don't they?
I have no idea.
See you later, Fairytale. Enjoy your tuning the speakers. So yeah, that's basically what we're trying to, I guess, talk reason versus rationale, I guess, when it comes to core versus moment at this point of time. But I think that moment is still more elegant than a core is, of course.
I mean, the thing is, if you want to stream and have a BeoVision, this would be mute. You would never say get a moment because you have a BeoVision and you can stream to your BeoVision.
Yes.
But since we're talking about a place where neither exists, then yeah, a moment is very much considerable.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Firetail. Very happy to extend this information. Better than hanging around your dealer for an hour or 2.
Yeah, but I don't think it depends on what dealer. Are they able to answer questions to the way we answer the questions?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the dealers, personally, that I've had experience with, only maybe the store owner has some B&O in the house. And then the sales staff has a very limited amount if they, because obviously, like, it's a costly, even with the employee discount. And then you have installers, which they don't own fuck all in the house.
Yeah.
Because they just don't. But they work with it 24/7. Well, we live with it 24/7.
$1 million question, Emians asks. Can I connect a Beogram and a BeoSound to the moment? Why would you connect another BeoSound? Because you can get the CD player for it if you wanted to. But let's say you wanted to connect a BeoSound 9000 to it. Are there 2 aux-ins?
If I were to connect the BeoSound 9000 to it through anything, I would, at that point, I would hook it up through a converter. Because then I would have a control over the 9000 and the CDs and shit. And then put the Beogram into an RCA of inputs of the moment. And then you have no delay issues.
Yeah.
Given a thought or random thing that you would tie in speakers in where the 9000 is, because I assume that if you had a 9000 core, you had it for a while, and you probably have a set of fucking speakers with this thing that you probably want to move, or you want to upgrade the speakers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to do that, then I would straight up hook up the NLML converter, but you still can get those, and then you have control over that room. Also, you need a link eye, right? Bury that somewhere in the fucking underneath the couches, and now you have 2 rooms without any delays.
Yeah, my dealer still has some NLML converters. So if you're interested, this is part of his website. It happens to be on the core, but
the other convoluted way you could do it is, and I don't think the aux controls work off of. No, it wouldn't work, but you could go line in or aux in from the turntable into the 9000, and then just put the 9000 power link into the core
or moment.
This is convoluted as fuck, because then you do not have the option of the volume doesn't, it's alterable on the 9000, and I don't think you would change or play with it. But then again, it would be effect that if you wanted to change a track or whatever, and if you wanted to turn it up, it would turn up on both moment and the 9000. It's not a good setup. The best way to do this is line into the turntable from or to the moment from the turntable, and get a converter for the 9000. So it is the most seamless experience you will have with it.
So yeah, there is all ways to do it. If you really want a 9000 or an Overture or something, at this point, I would honestly say, also for the ease of use with remote controls, get an NLML converter.
Yeah.
Because then it's on the network and you can hang it wherever the hell you want, as long as you have a network connection to it.
Mm-hmm. And even if you don't, you can use those AC power adapters, and you're set, because you don't have the master link anymore. You have master link on 1.5 meters into the converter, and that's the end of it. But that's the best way to set this up, if I were to do it. I've set up a lot of shit in my house, man. Like, I had some seriously, like, maxed out BeoSound 5, 9000, like 3500s all over the place with the TV and the Beo media inside the TV, because why fuck not? And yeah, it's fun time to play around like that, because then I guess you can come up with all these weird answers, that the problems that you would normally don't encounter unless you're on a job site and you look like a doofus because you sold shit you don't know about. I don't do that. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Any other questions somebody has? Random ass fucking curveball with the turntable. But if I were to do a turntable, like, if I were to do it balls deep, awesome, I would do the turntable like Mikey does. I would hide the fucking 5500 in a credenza somewhere, get a ML to MCL converter, pipe that into the NLML converter, and then when you press phono and you fast forward, the fucking turntable will actually raise up the needle and move over and do its thing. That's how I would do it. That's how they've tried it. That's how they had it done also in Struder when I was there.
Also, if you want to look, here's a link to the moment, what you call it, manual.
Oh yeah. So
you can look through all this shit the way you want to. And take some time.
That's what I like, that you can actually see how you can connect. You can hardwire, because the power links are always active, so you can hardwire a sub into the mix and use a mood wheel. I guess skip that. And the like and dislike still works. If you swipe up, it'll put it in your favorites. If you swipe down, it'll never play that fucking song again. A Bluetooth.
I have certain songs where that happens.
Yeah, and Bluetooth, it only works to pair when the backlit is actually removed. So you don't have it always open and fucking people
Start playing your shit.
Start playing their shit on your shit in the middle of the night. So, yeah, this is. I don't know. I still like it, man. I think it was a great concept. It was a good turn and direction from BeoSound 5, where they were going with it. But it didn't stand the time or test the time of support. At least from their own side of things.
Yeah. It's it is what it is, really.
Yeah. Oh, sales are wrapping up. I might go look at the furniture. Might go do some.
It's also nice that you have 2 speaker out in PowerLink.
Yeah, where Core only has 1, which is fucking stupid. Because if you have 8,000s, then you have to get a PL splitter and or DIN blah blahs and DIN fart. So I don't know. I would pick this over the Core if I could find one in a pristine condition.
Also, if you have speakers hardwired to your Moment with an NL-ML converter, you could pipe in the sound from your BeoSound 9000 or Overture or whatever into the Moment that then plays it to the speakers, right?
Yes. Yeah, I can just see that. I wouldn't do it now because I have the 90s pulling SPDIF directly off of the 9000. So every time the 9000 comes on, the speakers come on, which I don't like. But if I pressed CD, link CD here, it would fire up the 9000 and play them through the ones here through the Moment. No problem. Sound is much different through the converter than going off of the SPDIF, but I don't think if you don't have the 90s or 50s, you don't really have to worry about it, or even 28s, because those are borderline annoyingly accurate now.
Brendan says, you guys ever think about creating some short videos to answer these questions? Maybe Jeff can splice the live videos for us and add some timestamps. But serious question, though. We could, or you could just watch us and donate and ask. We're here live often enough that I could. So yes,
I think every question that you'd have can wait a week, because we're here every week.
Yeah, not only that, the amount of time to all edit that and render it and cut it away, that's some serious time commitment. And if people want to pay for that, yes, please. But other than that, I'm not going to spend that much time doing that.
We already can commit enough, I think, as it is, when it comes to this. You know? But
I agree with Sandeep. Give us a break. We're free public service.
After all.
Yeah, well, we are. It's literally free, and we very much appreciate the donations and the members and that sort of thing. That makes it fun and a bit worthwhile. I mean, I don't want to go as far as say it's profitable. Like, we're not John or anything. Neither of us have a shop. We're not really promoting anything other than B&O, and even they are sort of like looking at us with a side eye because we don't always toe the line.
Yeah, but in the same token, we had sold more product for them and made a lot more people make their decisions up on what they want to buy over this podcast than any other channel you can resort to for information when it comes down to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yes, you can watch John's videos. They are, I'm not saying they're biased. They are definitely positive towards the B&O, and he does point out, you know, odd things and whatnot. But when the poo really hits the proverbial fan, you come to BeoTalk, because we don't hold no fucking bars, man. And when the shit needs to be discussed, it does get discussed. And I appreciate the most that the B&O actually started to take a note of it, because, well, we've been here for 180 podcasts, bro. That's 3 and something years.
Yes.
So we're not going away. And they realized that, because they thought this was like something that, you know what, shoo, you go away after fucking episode 25. No, bitch. we're gonna be here. Like, I'm hoping that for the 200s, finally I can travel out and we can do one, like, live and sitting in a room together. Which was hoping for the 100th. Then that's fucking 80 episodes ago already, and this shit still goes. So, but I appreciate also the BNO that they take note now of what's going on, because we're always there for people, no matter what. Even if it's some fucking troll that comes around, talks about masks and bullshit, whatever.
Stop
Bobby
socialism.
Yeah, fuck. Like, you gotta be fucking having no life. You have way less life than me and all the people that are watching this, because you fucking go out of your way to troll a channel that you have nothing to do with. And you know what? I appreciate that, I guess, because we got noticed on even that side. So, I don't know. It's funny, and it's good to be recognized, I guess, for not just the talent, but like, I've been around BNO for 25 years. Mikey's been around it for a whole life, more or less, because you've grown up around it. I wasn't as lucky, but professionally being around it for 10 years, you learn a lot. Like, there's the evolutional changes that the BNO has undergone from fucking Masterlink distribution system analog to now.
I must say though, like, I wish I had done more with it when I was younger, because so much of my life was with BNO, but you never had to look at it because it always worked. It was just there, right? And it sounded amazing, but like, there was no reason to like rewire things or redo things.
Go fuck around, do anything, yeah.
No, because it just worked.
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't have a 3-4 year old lifespan of something and
no,
and you have to replace it. But yes, Sandeep, it was simpler times, I guess, in a way that, yeah, you had one cable that would be fed as a coax to the TV because it was aerial. So, there was no HDMI limitations. There was no fucking around. If you had a movie that you liked and your buddy wanted to tape it, and you bring over a VCR, here we go, in real fucking time. So that itself has paid for the copyrights, in my opinion, for me watching this movie again, to give to somebody to watch it again, them on their own. But yeah, and the dynamics of, like, I think that, kudos to BNO also, because it's an old ass fucking company, and if you think about it, they've grown up around analog and everything else, right? And how fast the world is changing now. I think that they're finally figured out the right way to go about it with the Mozart platform, and also not killing the multi-room, which is their absolute best. That's a platform that cannot be copied or replicated to the same proficiency and coolness on any fucking. I don't give a shit about the Sonos, even if you spell it backwards. It's fucking doesn't even compete, because you can't tie in a processor to the Sonos and now tell it to fucking do my lights, do my blinds, do my thermostat. It ain't gonna do that. It's just gonna play music through a couple of shitty ass amps.
By the way, Lenny asked, what would you pay for an unused moment? Lenny, since you're a member, you get this is part of being members, and people with super chats and whatnot, you get priority.
1,000 like US, or what is this money?
Lenny asked, what would you pay for an unused moment on eBay? He's in Germany. I said about €1,000 maximum. If it's really unused, if it's really unused, they stopped selling it, 2 years ago? It's still 2 years old. I said 1,000 maximum. They're asking 1,550.
I would offer 1,250. Or I would offer 1,000 and meet him at 1,250. Yeah. If it's fucking brand new.
So here, if you can go to Marktplaats, which is in the Netherlands, this moment is basically pristine condition, but is used, and he's asking 800 for it. No dings, no scratches, no nothing. Like, why would you pay double?
Yeah.
And there's more than one. I've actually held this one. This one is from my dealer, and it is in really good condition. asking is 8,750, and you probably get 6 months warranty with it. Maybe it's Germany, but if you can, I don't know how far you're away from the border, but if you can hop over or arrange for it being sent, like I wouldn't pay that much for it. That's only like €750 off the new price, and it's already 2 years old, and it's from a reseller, so not even from an official dealer anymore.
Yeah,
I get it, but that seems steep to me. Do you know
I wouldn't, like, even if I were to sell mine, I wouldn't sell it for more than $1,500 on eBay, Canadian, and that would be a fucking best offer.
And that's about €1,000 now.
Yeah.
€1,100, something like that.
So that's where I would go with it. I wouldn't go anymore.
Coming back to Sandeep says, coming back to Henrik's Halo video, how can that one guy make a more exciting advert for B&O than they do? This is the shit I keep on asking myself as well, and why. I don't want to say I'm jealous, but it almost feels like B&O shuns me. Maybe it's a Danish thing, and they can converse in primary language, so to say. But
you're just not cool enough, dude.
I don't care about the coolness, but I mean, the amount of people that watch us, quite honestly, and that they've never even thought of, like, hey, let's come to you guys for whatever, promotional, or what do you guys think of XYZ.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I do need to grow a beard. I'll get one at the
Halloween costume.
Yeah, I have one of these clip-on beards.
Should do the same.
Like when Cartman goes into the ice for a long time because he wants to freeze himself until the Nintendo Wii comes out. They put on a face warmer that's literally a beard.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that we're a little more blunt about the facts of things and if they work or not, and we kind of just get a little more rashy. Or I don't
understand
know.
it if they were a different company, but the Danes are quite blunt in and of themselves as well.
I know.
And Henrik is really blunt, which I like, but I think it's kind of weird that B&O is like, yes, great.
But not you guys. But I think that no matter what, they still watch and listen, because regardless of what, Henrik's channel is only a wealth and pool of information that is within the Denmark and Danish-speaking community only, right? Because I don't watch his videos because I just don't understand them, right? Like, I don't know what the fuck they're saying. And even like when the BLI video they've done, it was all in fucking English on the screen. I'm like, well, motherfucker, I can't, like, you know,
the last
what
one
is
was
this?
in English.
Yeah, the last one was in English, but most of them are, you know, like, I think that our information is much more readily available, even though we blab around things and blah blah blah. We still I think our information is way easier harvestable for people because we speak English.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I want Henrik to absolutely succeed. I can't wait for the day until he matches John, and by then I hope John is double the size, because I speak for everybody here, I want B&O to do that well.
Yeah.
Because it's good for everybody, including us as customers and including YouTube channels like this and their Twitch channels. But like what Sandeep says, whatever it's Henrik or whomever, but the simple fact that one guy can make a demo video that gets a bunch of people excited, and B&O can't do the same or can't be bothered to do the same. Yeah, it's beyond me. I tell John sometimes, right? Because John is so friendly that he doesn't dare to claim his accolades, which he desperately deserves. That I quite often tell him, like, have you looked at your analytics? And he goes, yeah, they're quite decent. I was like, compare them to the B&O main site. You're outdoing them. And he's like, oh, really? It's like, yeah, motherfucker, really? Like, you deserve this shit. I know you're
That's
nice
insane.
and all, but you're actually outdoing the main brand. Like, they should pay you or something for... Not just Ian, like, the whole B&O group should pay you to do this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's just, to them, it's a free advertisement, right? It's cost efficient. And that's just where it is. But I think that... See, like, I don't care for getting the free shit, because I don't. But it would be nice to, if there's a new product, when we all have it and we can actually review it and have it in completely different environments. And I don't care for sending it back, but it would be nice to have at least that level of recognition after 3 years that you guys, we value your opinion at least a little bit. But just like you're fucking trying to shut the leaks off and whatever when they go out, it's
I'm a fucking cork sometimes for B&O, because the times they want to talk to me actually is when I tell them, hey, you guys know you fucked up again, right? Because all your new shit is all over the internet again. And they're like, oh, really? Well, could you give us a call? It's like, now you're able to speak?
Yeah, so I don't like that. But, you know, like, we don't mean no harm to the B&O, even though sometimes we talk trash about it. But every relationship has an argument, and every relationship has a disagreement as well. And there are things that I'm just not agreeing with, you know, on certain things, be it a software, be it something, being a fucking beta tester, like Brendan says, for the new software and for the new product, especially when you're a first adopter.
If anybody here was a beta tester, I don't think they could tell you, unless they have express permission to tell you.
We're all beta testers, bro. You bought the fucking Avant or Harmony early. I had issues with it.
I mean, in the literal legal sense, if B&O
no, I know,
is like,
but we're the beta testers.
Here, this isn't out yet. You bet your ass it's coming with an NDA.
Yeah, well, I don't mind signing it, but I would.
No, but I'm just saying that if Brendan asked that, if anybody here was actually a beta tester, we couldn't answer that.
No, but I can answer for everybody that rolled. As soon as you buy the new B&O product, you're a fucking beta tester, bro. That's why I held off till the Halo came with capabilities that it has now. And it's been how long ago? I don't even know how many podcasts we've done since the Halo came out. 15, 20 of them? For God's sakes?
Something like that. No more.
So, or more. So that's just, you know, where I'm at with it. Like, same thing, like when the Moment first came out. Holy fuck balls, man. Like, I had my the volume wheel just run away, and it's not funny when it's at 10 o'clock at night and the fucking 90s decide to go full tilt and you're dive bombing for a fucking power bar to disconnect shit. That sucks the fun of the afternoon hard. So that's my issues, like, I guess there were, as the first adopter, being a quote-unquote the beta tester. So anyways,
my dealer is always the type of guy that if you make him a decent offer, he will always consider it. So
Sandeep, I don't know when my BLI is going to come in, because I ordered it from the Quebecson shop, and them boys never sold a fucking gateway in the entire existence of the store, so he didn't even know how to go about ordering one. And because I get a better deal through them than I get,
unfortunately.
Yeah, I get a better deal through them than I would get through the fucking Vancouver shop at this point. So I'm just gonna wait. Vancouver store sold one gateway, and it was to me for one of my clients. But I will get it as soon as I can get it, man, because I am stoked to get the remote happening and all this shit on it.
To play around with it.
Yeah, I definitely want to get it. I'm not in a real big rush, but I definitely want to get it before December 17th. Because that's when my BeoLiving or BeoLink Gateway paid subscription expires. And I will no longer renew it. But I want to make sure that I am fully fucking compatible, or I have my other gateway going by then, 100%. So, but yeah, I would say let's wrap her up, because I have a client coming in 25 minutes.
In that case, I'll wrap her up. Yeah, Lenny, email me or my dealer if you want his beer sound moment. Like I said, within reason, he's always the type of dude to listen to a reasonable offer. So the price, I don't know if the price is hard or soft, but I've never known him anything other way that if you're within reason, he'll consider it. That doesn't mean he'll say yes, but you can at least ask.
It never hurts to ask.
Yeah. And where is it? Also, here's
it's like my old boss used to say from out. He's like, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Oh, absolutely.
And I fucking hate that saying because he would say it all the time, but it is a good point. And I would worst thing I can say is no, and then you just know that it's not going to happen, and you can move on and try to find it somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Lenny, for becoming a member tonight, dear leader. And for everybody else that supports the show, thank you very much. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. If you haven't followed us or subscribed yet on Twitch, please do so. Helps us out a great deal. We're not exactly getting rich over this. Would be the dream, but I don't expect it.
Oh yeah, dude. You gotta be blogging way more. I just can't believe it that we can get together twice a week now and talk BNO nonsense for fucking 4 hours together combined. And then plus some afterwards we disconnect usually.
I mean, so far it nearly pays my power bill, so yes.
Right on.
I'm nearly breaking even.
Put a couple solar panels off your balcony then.
Anyway, thank you all. See you all in the next one, and good night.
Bye.
I don't have an outro for tonight, so I'm going to actually do it the old-fashioned way.